I just got a stutter. Hi guys, it's Amanda here, your cutie of Carnage, here on another episode of Channel Sundown. Today, I am reviewing a film that not many people have heard of, and that is K12. K12 was written, directed, designed, and stars Melanie Martinez. A lot of people might not know Melanie Martinez unless you watch The Voice. She is one of the contestants on The Voice. I don't really know her from The Voice because I don't really watch The Voice. I've seen her around and stuff, but I know her as she sings one of my favorite songs from the season of Freak Show of American Horror Story. She sang the song Carousel, and I love that song, so that's how I know her. And she is very interesting indeed. The film is actually a very unique genre of films. It's a fantasy horror musical. Yes, of course it's a musical. She wrote the music. It's based on her K12 album that she made, and she interpreted a lot of her music into this film. And if you guys don't like musicals, then I don't know what to tell you. It's a musical. It has a lot of music in it, so there it goes. The film starts off as Melanie Martinez, Crybaby. She plays Crybaby in the film. She's on her way to this obedient boarding school for girls and boys, and her best friend are basically traveling to the school, and you kind of get the idea that there's a lot of control over these students, because there's a lot of weird things that go around, and the teachers have like a grasp on these kids. And it starts off right away to where, you know, you kind of see all the weird stuff happening, and it breaks out into song right away. And a lot of the music, like I said, is based on her her K12 album, which the music kind of gets into there. And it's very interesting because it's not like an opera. It doesn't just stop and break out into song. They break out into basically music videos. They're going to the school, and they kind of establish that there's popular girls and there's popular guys, and Crybaby is not popular at all. You can kind of get that idea right away in the film. And they break out in music, and you think that you're watching MTV kind of, because it just breaks out in song and dance, and the music is really interesting within the story itself. I don't know many musicals that every song drop the F-bomb as many times as this film does, because it seems like every other lyric is effing this, effing that, or F this, and I thought that was kind of funny. Anyways, there's that. And like I said, it has a lot of fantasy to it, because you realize that a lot of the students have abilities, and I won't get into spoilers because this is a spoiler-free review, but you find out that some students have abilities that others don't. And they kind of introduce the character, and you're not really sure what abilities they have. It's not like an X-Men thing. It's more of kind of like a Mean Girls versus the Craft kind of feel. That will get right into my pros and my cons of the film. And I'll first start with the pros, because you always want to start with, you know, good things. You want to start with good things. You don't want to start with bad things. At least I think so. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, but yeah. My first pro is going to be, I really liked the atmosphere of the film. It was very fantasy-like. It had a lot of weird things going on. It was very graphic, and just the atmosphere and everything. And I really liked it because it had haunting parts of it, and also had like beautiful things, so it kind of leveled each other out. So the atmosphere is beautiful. It has a beautiful atmosphere on the fact that like you kind of don't know what you're getting into, because it starts right away. I mean, I'm not going to get into spoilers, of course, but they're in a school bus and things happen on the school bus, and you're kind of like, what? Anyways, it has to do with bubbles and a school bus and things. So yeah, that's what I get into it. But yeah, it's very, very fantasy. Another positive is I actually like the music. Like, I'm not a lot of people don't like Melanie Martinez. Like I said, she's really interesting. She's very poppy, but I like her. And the music, I liked. I liked the music. I thought it kind of fit in certain parts of the film where she kind of, you know, jumped into songs. But like I said, it's not very opera-esque. It's very like music video. It's like a scene happens and then, you know, it's very in her head. Everything's kind of in her head, so it plays in her head. So it gets very, like I said, it gets very fantasy-like during musical numbers and stuff. And you kind of don't cut. You don't know what's really in her head, what's really happening. But being as weird as the atmosphere is, you kind of just go with it. Everybody is their own chaos. Everybody is their own mess. So it kind of goes to where you don't, there's no really, honestly, in my opinion, there's not really many bad people. There's just people of circumstance. And I know this sounds really kind of cheesy to say that, but even within the teachers and, you know, the popular kids and stuff, it's all within their mind and where everything is and what's, you know, what is what they want and how they can benefit from what they're gonna get. So they do bad things to benefit from that. And yeah, so that's really twisty and stuff, how you kind of look at it, because you kind of see things happening, you're kind of like, okay, well that's wrong, you shouldn't do that, but the same way, you're kind of like, but we want this to happen. So it's very twisty, and I enjoy the twisty. And the last thing I really enjoy is, I like dry humor. I don't really I like jokes, I think they're funny, but when something's like, you say a line or say a moment or a film and something happens and they stop and they're waiting for that, you know, laugh, you're kind of like, okay, like that happens. But I like kind of like the dry sense of humor when you say they say something and then a few seconds later you're like, wait, what did they just say? That made no sense. And you laugh to yourself, because they're very funny scenes that you don't realize like the comedy in it until afterwards or later in the film. So I really like that too, the dry sense of humor. And, you know, as long as they didn't put a laugh track in the film, then I'm good. Okay guys, now that I named all my positive parts, my pros of the film, here comes the cons. Yeah, the cons of things I don't like. Okay, I hate to say this about Melanie Martinez, but although I liked the music, there was a lot of parts in the film where I felt things were done to death. I was just like, okay, alright, I get it, musical number, let's keep going. Like, it seemed like a scene would happen, and then a musical number would happen, and then like, it would be like, right afterwards another musical number would happen. And I felt like there were parts of the film that were just done. I was just like, okay, I get it, like, done with the music. Like, I love the music, but it did get kind of overdone after a minute. After halfway through the film, I was kind of wanting more of the story. I wanted to see more of the film versus all the pop dancing and whatnot. But yeah, that's going to be my main con. And with the musical numbers, I felt like, other than, you know, doing like the musical, I felt like some parts were cool, but I felt that the musical numbers were too music video. Like, I felt like I was kind of watching MTV versus a musical. I felt like I was watching a countdown of just music videos, because it felt like that, because, you know, when they were in the film, they would have scenes, and of course it was very, you know, out of this world, things were happening and stuff, and I felt the film, but then they would have out of this world musical numbers, and I just felt like I was watching a bunch of music videos, and I didn't feel like it really kind of dove into the film itself versus the musical numbers. So I kind of wish that they had the musical numbers, but I wish that they kept it more in the film versus just showing something else. I wish they just showed another video and another musical number. I wish they would keep it in the film and kind of keep the film going and stay on point of the film. And I hate to keep talking about the music, but I did feel like some music in the film was so out of place. Like, it wasn't even, had nothing to do with the story. It felt like it was just it felt like she kind of had music and she was like, where am I going to put this? She goes, well, this is a scene. I'm not going to spoil the film, of course, but it's like, this scene, there's a pause point. Here, put that song in there. That will work in there. So it didn't really fit. It felt like things didn't fit within the mood and the situation, and songs were in there, so it felt kind of out of place. And another con, it's my last con, but my other con is going to be, I felt that there was really no, in the beginning, the film started off really good, you're really interested in it, but I felt when they, towards the end, like towards the ending, it, like I said, it became more music video like. It felt like I kind of didn't get what I was looking for. I really, honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't really understand where the story went. I didn't get it. I was like, okay, well, this happened, and they found what's her name, and took the school, you know, I'm not going to get into it, but the ending with the school and everything that happened, and then the ending, she goes and she meets the girls, and they find their entryway, and it felt kind of, how do I say this? I didn't really understand. I was kind of like, okay, well, why did that need to happen? Why did that get there? And then again, you know, I didn't really, the songs didn't really tell you either, because, you know, it was what it was. So yeah, that was one of my main things, is I kind of got lost. As the beginning, it kind of placed the music well and did everything well, but come towards the big climax at the end with the school and everything, it just kind of went from there, and I just didn't understand what I was getting into, and I didn't understand what was going on, and it sort of lost me. So anyways, that being said, my verdict. What do I think about the film? Well, my verdict of the film is going to be, I was actually really looking forward to this movie because I heard about it before, and it's streaming right now on Prime. So if y'all get a chance to, there goes my voice again. If y'all get a chance, check it out, because I watched it on Prime. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. I was really looking forward to it. I liked the movie, but like I said, repeating myself again, I felt like there was parts that just didn't really succeed with the story. It was kind of like playing, like keeping the ball up in court, you know? It was kind of like, okay guys, you got it, and then it was like, oh, where'd it go? You know, like, in a good way, but just like, it just kind of went out there, and I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. But then again, you guys know, I have brain issues. So I got brain injury, so I can, some things I forget, so maybe I lost myself in it, you know, and I just couldn't, I wasn't smart enough to keep up with the story maybe, but no, I honestly really enjoyed it into the middle, and then the climax, you know, it had a really promising story. It was really interesting, and I liked how everything kind of kept it up. I just felt like, you know, repeating myself again. Towards the ending, it really kind of dropped me. I was just kind of like, just, not like drop the mic, but it just, you know, stopped carrying me, and I was kind of like, what? So yeah, that's my opinion, is that it's okay. I will have to say though, a lot of people who don't watch musicals probably would actually not mind this movie so much if they're into like music videos, and they're into, you know, if you're really into anime, you're gonna like this movie. If you're into anime, if you're into all that, you're gonna like this film. I don't think just, you know, people who love musicals, I don't think are gonna really be into this, because like I said, and repeating myself, you know, everything with the story and whatnot, it's just, it doesn't feel so much of a musical. It feels like, you know, continuation of music videos. So if you guys like MTV, you might like this one. So yeah. Okay guys, well that concludes my K12 review. Yeah, have you guys seen it? I'm curious. Do you guys like it? Do you guys think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm too judgmental? Do you think Melanie Martinez was fantastic? Because I'm telling you guys, when I saw interviews with Melanie Martinez after I saw this film, I read some interviews and stuff, and basically everything in this film, it was in her mind. She was like, this is what I saw in my mind. I closed my eyes, and what I saw in my head, I put on film. You know, and she created and everything. So I respect her for that. So I'm not going to knock the film because it's different. You know, and that's another thing, a positive thing that I have to say is, I'd rather somebody have something and it be different than somebody have something and it not, not be, because everybody's different. Everybody has their own things, and everybody's creative, and everybody's artistic in their own way, and I respect her for that. So if you guys think I am too unfair with this film, guys, let me know. Comment below. Comment, if I give it, comment below. Sounds so dark every time I say it. And you guys, do not forget to like, I hope I put it out right, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I seek approval, of course. Till then, bye. I really need to fix this glare situation with my glasses.